Welcome to Burn the News, Edition 3, Jackman Radio. How the hell is everybody doing? Lace, how you doing?
I'm good. We're midweek. We're living our best lives. We're here. We're doing it.
Midstream in Clown World, right?
Live stream in Clown World. Exactly.
What this week tells you that we're even further into Clown World, the Matrix, than we've ever been up till this moment?
There's a number of things. Dave Chappelle was called a white supremacist and hiding behind white supremacy for his new special. So, to me, that is like the very pinnacle of Clown World. I don't know about you.
That's like the Clayton Bixby skit that he did on the Chappelle Show like 17, 18 years ago, come to life, right? Basically.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a self-actualizing prophecy.
It's happening. It's actually happening. And we watched his special, man. His special was fucking awesome.
Yeah, the latest one, it was called The Closer. And that caps off, I think, 5 years of specials on Netflix. And, and I've been saying this even before this one came out and before all this shit dominated everybody's brain 24/7. Chappelle's been saying a lot of stuff in these specials between the lines. He's been talking about the real power structure in Hollywood. He's been talking about who can really compel somebody who they think is a millionaire, they have a lot of money, they have power. What can compel that person to ignore or leave their father's deathbed to go to a business meeting? So that's kind of what that speaks to. That's one thing that it speaks to.
Yeah, I mean, he is kind of between the lines with some things and just how the game works out there, how sick it is and depraved and gross the whole thing is.
Yeah, I think it was Chappelle. I'm pretty sure it was. He was being interviewed by James Lipton from inside the Actors Studio some years back, and that was one of the stories that he told. One of the worst things that's happened to me during this whole deal. I think it came after Half Baked. I'm pretty sure because he had a pretty significant role in the movie Half Baked, which I think was kind of like his first big thing that he did, and. They basically said, you have to go to this meeting. And it's like, well, my father's dying. My father's on his deathbed. Like, if I don't go home and visit my father, I'm not going to see him again, most likely. And like, well, you got to come to this meeting. And he ended up going to the meeting, and his father did pass. And I'm pretty sure the meeting that he had, it didn't end up turning into anything or becoming a deal or anything like that. So
that's awful.
One of his specials he did a few years back, I think it was Equanimity of Birds, or the other one that he did that same year. I think it was like 2017 or 2018. He told that story about basically like a pimp keeping somebody hostage, and he just compared that to Hollywood and to agencies and to how they treat the talent, quote unquote.
Yeah, you're just expendable garbage to them in the studios, in the power elite out there. But I think really in the last few years, especially since Harvey Weinstein going down and even stuff about Michael Jackson, I know that's in the music world, but just the entertainment industry writ large has really, the mask has come off big time, and we had Sean Stone on recently, and I just finished his 6-part series, Best Kept Secret, and he delves into all that stuff, man. And it's lost its luster, its shine, its influence. Its ability to influence a lot of people, it has gone away big time, I think.
So apart from that, yeah, you mentioned. I think you mentioned Weinstein. Rose McGowan, dude, has been tweeting some super base shit, like the last year, dude. Like, forget about her so-called endorsement of Larry Elder. She's just been saying a lot of shit about the Clintons and the DNC.
Yeah.
And,
the Newsoms.
The Newsom, yeah, that mafia.
Yeah, dude, you got to think about it. She has been in that game pretty deep. What was her like first big thing? How long has she been around?
Well, she was in Scream, which came out in '96, and she may have even been. Did she do Clueless or Jawbreaker? I think she did Jawbreaker because she was dating Marilyn Manson at the time, who was in that, which was another a big '90s film. But Scream came out in '96, so she's been in the game for a long time. And the stuff that she tweets and says, dude, if you want to talk about an insider, somebody who's been exposed to, the deepest of that shit,
And that really scares you, Mike, who the thugs, the former Mossad thugs from Black Cube that Harvey Weinstein hired to follow her and shit? What's that all about?
Well, it's horrifying. I mean, there's even footage. I forget the documentary. I mean, even Satchel there, this,
Ronan Farrow.
Frank Sinatra's son,
Yeah.
or Woody Allen's son. I haven't watched all of it, but Satchel uncovered a lot of shit, man, with that. He was one of the people that brought Weinstein down, and the piece in the New Yorker. I would encourage people to go back and read that. Sometimes the New Yorker puts shit out that's actually, pretty good. It's got some good information in it. You can go and cross-check it, which I've done. They got this ghoul, he was like ex-IDF, ex-Mossad, and he's just like cavalier talking about how, we tracked her, we pretended to be a journalist, we ingratiated ourselves, we spied on her. They're basically just ruthless about it. And viewing her, whether it's Rose McGowan or whoever the target is, viewing them as the target for the person that's hiring them. And for this particular instance, it happened to be Harvey Weinstein, who was one of the most powerful and popular producers in all of Hollywood for, probably the better part of 3 decades.
Yeah. Yeah, the Clintons' best friend there, Harvey, Yeah,
the projectionist at the White House during the Bill Clinton years.
They all couldn't grovel to that fucking pig quick enough, to get his money and his influence and his endorsement,
And now, so they're saying Peter Jackson has come out with Elijah Wood to talk about that. The orcs? I didn't even know about that.
Well, Elijah Wood just came out and said the face design of the orcs in Lord of the Rings is based on Harvey Weinstein's face. And now when you go back with the fresh eyes and you go and look at it, you're just like, oh.
It kind of makes sense.
Yeah, you do pretty good. You have his face down. Remember you had his impression there when he was in court? Oh. God,
do you understand, Mr. Weinstein?
Oh.
That's kind of what it looked like.
Good God. Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
Megan.
Megan. Sending good vibes. It really is. It's nothing but good vibes from Schmeggles,
Absolutely. Megan Barry.
Yeah, Lady Gaga. I was just watching. I didn't realize this. Tony Bennett played his last 2 shows ever that he's ever going to do.
He's got to be 95, 96.
Yeah, he's 95, 96.
Dementia.
Yeah, we love our card.
We love you, Schmeggles.
And Tony Bennett played his last 2 shows. I think he was going to be at Radio City Music Hall where they were. It was somewhere in New York City. And he's pretty far into dementia now, man. He's losing it. It's sad. And it's just the most amazing thing. So the last 2 shows are with Lady Gaga because he did duets with her and stuff. And wow. He was pretty out of it, but when you put him next to a piano and the guy starts playing the song and they go, Tony, do you want to sing Smoke Gets Into Your Eyes? Yeah, sure. And the guy starts the first few bars, dude, he knows the whole song. All the timing, all the nuance, all the phrasing. He remembers the whole song and he can sing it. And his last 2 shows, he did full, I think, 12, 15 song sets at the shows and nailed it. And during the whole time rehearsals leading up to it, he didn't really remember Lady Gaga's name or say, oh, it's Lady Gaga. But when he was on stage and then she came on stage for the performance, he went, oh, it's Lady Gaga. And it was like a lucid, crazy moment. So that's kind amazing.
That's the way dementia works, though.
Yeah.
Even with, our grandmother who made it to almost 91, I remember, into her mid to late 80s, she was dealing with that. But there were moments where she recognized you. And I think that's totally a real thing.
Yeah. Oh, you could definitely tell, but I was just blown away how Tony Bennett. So Anderson Cooper was like part of it, and
Anderson
Vanderbilt, and Tony Bennett was being led with his wife through Central Park for their daily walks, and Anderson, his wife, and Tony were on a bench together. And Anderson was like, "Oh, you were so great at the concert the other night at Radio City Music." He's like, "What concert?" He didn't remember it, dude. So that's a bummer. I hoped I could have seen Tony Bennett and met him, but that's I think he's in twilight at this point.
Yeah, we never got to see him, and we never got to see Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry would do a weekly residence, I believe, in St. Louis, Missouri, at like a restaurant or something.
Or was that BB King?
No, it was Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry?
Yeah. No, BB King played late too, but
yeah,
certainly Chuck Berry was playing well into his like late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah. Jackman Brothers again. At it again. Yes, we're back for Burn the News, and we appreciate you tuning in.
We try to bring it to you more fun, more entertaining, more informative, and just, funny.
Yeah. Look at that Schmeggles dude. $9.99 super sticker.
$9.99.
From Megan. Megan is
Megan Letourneau is your trainer, I understand.
She's just a huge part of our world,
Happy belated birthday to you, Megan.
Yeah, thank you. And twice a week we're in the gym, we're sweating, pumping iron, running up and down the stairs 25 times. When you're in the middle of running up and down stairs, it is not fun.
What's your heart doing?
There's nothing. Oh, my heart is, pumping as if Diane Lane just knocked on my bedroom door,
It's like cocaine or bust.
It's pumping. It's pumping big league. But it's fun. It's been really great, and, we're going to keep at it. We're going to definitely keep at it. And Lady Gaga, she's one of our spirit animals, Mike.
Lady Gaga.
Trump talking about it,
That's a 1 second clip, dude. Lady Gaga.
And who sent me the clip was Kevin here. Mr. KW Zombie. That's Kevin Walter himself.
Kevin Walter. Hey, cheers to you.
And he sent the Lady Gaga clip. And it was literally only a second, Mike, but it's changed the world.
Kevin, you're a visionary. Kevin's a visionary.
Megan. So, dude, Shatner went to space.
Did it happen yet?
He went up there in the fucking dick rocket.
He went in the Dr. Evil Bezos fucking dick key.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so is he the oldest or the most famous person? Or does he have both records?
Oldest.
So he's 90.
Mm-hmm. I think oldest person ever going to space. Which is like insane.
He looks great, too. I mean, we've seen it in person a few times. And the hair plugs look good, dude. And he's wearing a wig since Kirk, which was like Star Trek was 1966, I think, or 65, when it only lasted 2 or 3 seasons. So Shatner has been wearing a wig the entire time. And before that, he did the Twilight Zone with the fucking thing on the wing. Remember that skit? Well, not skit, but remember the segment of the Twilight Zone, the episode where the thing's on the wing and it's got like a putty face? It looks like Jenner. It's like, surprise.
Good God. Surprise. I can't believe she's not governor, dude.
Yeah, she didn't. You know what, dude? Her heart wasn't in it.
No. Was that a publicity stunt, Mike?
That was her being like, oh my God, like Bruce became Caitlyn, 5-6 years ago. Well, what am I doing now? Why are people not talking about me every second of every day? And I think it was a great snowball effect, because Caitlyn running for governor led to Kim or whichever Kardashian's ass hosted SNL last weekend. It was It directly led to. That's my theory, anyways. I don't know. Call me crazy, but whichever Kardashian just hosted SNL, I think it was Kim, and she was just up there talking about her ass and her tits and O.J. Simpson and stabbings, and
sounds about right.
Yeah. Nobody has been able to talk about O.J. Simpson on SNL with that much panache since Norm Macdonald.
Oh, I know.
It would appear that way.
Lady Gaga,
Men Like Gods. That looks like the a Beach Boys album cover with the thing on the horse. It could be Paimon on the horse. It looks like Paimon on the horse, the god of mischief. And because it's October and it's near Halloween, and that we love scary movies, we love horror movies. If you haven't seen Hereditary, check that one out. I guarantee you it's one of the best horror movies of the last 5 years. Guarantee or your Bud Light back.
Fucking frightening. I don't want to ever watch that movie ever again. Scary.
What did that movie do to you?
It just scared me, man. I had trouble sleeping because I thought the mom was like crawling on the ceiling, and it was terrifying, Mike. It just really disturbed me.
You thought Toni Collette was like up in the corner of your Which wouldn't really be a bad thing if she was in your bedroom, but in that context, it wouldn't be a good thing.
Yeah, she's not there for the right reason.
She's there to fucking cut your head off for a ritual sacrifice that her mother's had going for 50 years.
Oh God!
But speaking of horror films, the new Scream trailer came out, and I think it looks good. What do you think?
They're old. They're fucking. David Arquette's fucking. He's shredded though. He does wrestling and. They're fucking old though, dude. He's old.
Arquette was the world champion of wrestling at one point, dude. There's a great documentary called "You Can't Kill David Arquette." If you guys haven't seen that, I encourage you to watch it. I mean, David Arquette's down there like Mexico City, jumping off fucking signs, dude, fighting people in the middle of the street, dude, just for cred and respect.
Just for money, or just for relevance. I want to be relevant. I'll go to Mexico. If you're willing to go to Mexico, for relevance, you deserve it.
And drink the water. Yeah. He goes to this like backwoods wrestling ring in Kentucky or somewhere down south, dude, where these schools, they have a homemade ring that they build. They have Arquette come out, dude, and there's like 2 people there. It's incredible, dude. It's available. It's available on Hulu. It's so fucking good, dude.
I might need to watch that.
It's the best thing he's done since Scream. And what else has David Arquette done? Eight-Legged Freaks.
Eight-Legged Freaks. I don't know, man. I can't really. It gave me a lot of his work, like his body of work.
So they were asking him about Scream though. So he did the first Scream and he was like 25 years old, and
wow.
He did this. So it was a great time in his life. He did the second one, unfortunately, when his mother was sick and dying, which he got to film with his father, and then he did the third one while he was, kind of just newly married to Courtney Cox, and then the fourth one he was divorcing from her. So it's been like a part of his life. It's been like a really weird, freakish, kind of like your relationship with Donald Trump and how you dress up as him and the benchmarks in your life. Getting the New Hampshire Chronicle thing, having Tony see it from the hospital room. Like there's a lot of weird things with it.
There's many layers to it.
Yeah.
Don Launder says, "Cheers, gents."
Hey, cheers, Don. It's great to see you. Thanks for coming to our party. Hey, dude, how about our party?
Party was epic.
Another successful party because of great, beautiful people like the Launders, like Don and Wheezy Launder, with the maple syrup, which I think you have near you at this point. The maple syrup is incredible.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to finding some kind of stack of waffles at some point or pancakes and just dousing it.
Yeah, like when you go to a restaurant, they're like, "Do you want the shit or do you want New Hampshire?" And that I feel like.
You go. I want the wheezy maple syrup, and that's what we'll pull out.
Yeah. So our friends the Launders, to make their own maple syrup and
New Hampshire. Let me grab it. Hold on, I'll grab it.
Yeah, they spike that fucking shit right out of the tree, dude. They make sure it's just right. It's going to be good, man. With like warm butter, pour a little bit of that maple syrup on it. Lisa's about to bring that and show you what that looks like, and it's good. And that's the thing about New Hampshire and Vermont, man. We got the maple syrup. Maine's got blueberries, Maine's got lobsters, Maine's got this and that. But I really do believe we have the maple syrup on lock. We also have, of course, the highest rate of beer and alcohol intake, which I don't know, should we be proud of that or, should we not be proud of that? I think it's somewhere in the middle. Probably somewhere in the middle on that. But, yeah, so a lot of great horror stuff coming out this week. We have the TV series Chucky coming out about the little homicidal doll, which is a follow-up of the film series, which is at, I think the sixth or seventh film or something like that, turned into a TV show with characters from the original and new characters. So you got that maple syrup? Turn it a little bit so we can see Wheezy's label. Wheezy's Waffle Wonder.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. How good? We haven't cracked it yet, but that's good.
It's going to be good, man. 100% pure maple syrup boiled in the backyard until just the right consistency is achieved. Each batch is then filtered and bottled by hand. It is a great pleasure that I give to you, Wheezy's Waffle Wonder. Jackman Radio tonight, sponsored by Wheezy's Waffle Wonder, presented to us by the Launders at our birthday party this weekend at Post and Beam Brewing. It was this past Saturday. Great turnout. A lot of fun. Nice to see everybody. Get everybody to come out, and celebrate. We hit 35 years old. We turned 35 on Sunday. It was a great time. Just nice to see everybody and get together, have a good time, have some beers. And yes, Dawn, it is good for you too. It's good on a pile of pancakes or waffles for sure. But we've had some great weather too here in New Hampshire. It's like 63 degrees right now, but it was pretty darn warm out today, and it's been warm the last few days. Wasn't too bad over the weekend either. But we're enjoying these few days of fall that are just really nice. The end of a hot summer. It was rainy for a while, but this is my favorite time of year, the fall time. The Bruins season's starting again this week. The Red Sox are playing. Who are they playing? Are they playing the Astros? I think in the playoffs. So I'll try and catch some of those games. They beat the Devil Rays there in that series, so that was good. I got to go to a fun Red Sox game this year, so kind of following them a little bit more than I would, which is I wasn't following them at all. But because I went to a game and had such great seats, I was like, oh, we'll follow the old Red Sox a little bit. But always enjoy the Bruins too. They should have a pretty good team this year, so I'll definitely be following them and keeping tabs on what they're doing. And then, of course, we had the illustrious Tom Brady come back and beat the Patriots. What was that, last weekend or the weekend before, the Buccaneers? So that was interesting. Ooh, this is an interesting nugget. Always use maple syrup instead of simple syrup when mixing drinks, especially Manhattans. You can thank me later. Interesting, because Manhattan is one of my favorite drinks. It was my great aunt Fran's favorite drink. We called it the Franhattan in her honor. And boy, you drink a couple of those, man, and that'll tighten you right up.
You're feeling pretty good.
Good to remember for that.
What's in the Manhattan?
It's very interesting.
A lot of liquor, a lot of alcohol.
Yeah, the Manhattan is a cocktail with whiskey, sweet vermouth, and bitters. Rye or traditional whiskey of choice. Other commonly used whiskeys include Canadian whiskey, bourbon, blended whiskey, and Tennessee whiskey. So it's good. And you got to garnish it with a cherry, always.
And one of our cousins thinks he's cracked the code of a Mai Tai from our favorite Chinese spot. Our favorite Mai Tai. I mean, it's really the best Mai Tai you could ever think of. So, it's weird because the Mai Tai is clear. It's not one of those cloudy, like brown or dark rum in appearance anyways. So
yeah, it's not really heartburn inducing.
No, you can if 3 or 4 of them, man, you're there.
Yeah, the May Special at Imperial China down in Framingham off Route 9. That's our spot, Mike. That's where we go. And it's sad when you see any hole-in-the-wall, shithole Chinese restaurants close, and that just happened here in Peterborough. Yen Yen closed up.
Yeah.
Which is hard to believe, Mike.
Yen Yen peaked probably like
15 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe even longer than that.
I remember going there for Tim Halliday's birthday like 20 years ago and thinking it was like good.
Oh, God.
Getting egg drop soup with the Hallidays.
Right.
And, it was good through college. We went there with Elds. We went there with Tony.
It was a hot spot with Elds through college. I want to go to Yen Yen. And we would go, Mike. We'd bring the boys. We'd have a great time.
Well, we had this one waiter there who looked like he doubled duty at a opium den that Sherlock Holmes or Johnny Depp would fancy from In Hell, who had a fucking pinky that was like he had a fucking Coke pinky. Like it went like this.
Yep.
He had like a long pinky. So.
And what was he dubbed?
Twong Long Nail Doc. DOC. So who knows? But dude, they had the best hot and sour soup, man. So pour one out for Yen Yen.
Yeah, we'll miss their hot and sour. Abdullah Batman says, "Do you like the Jonas Brothers?"
Yeah, we do.
I like the Jonas Brothers. It's like, I'm a sucker for you. Right? Is that the right song? It's like dancing top of cars, but stumbling out of bars, falling through the dark.
Can't get enough. Tattoo inside my brain. The
The pain.
I'm being fucking programmed like Sir Hain. I can't get enough. Yeah, it's
I'm a sucker for you. They're great. Dude, the Jonas are great though.
They have a new one too that's actually really good. That's on the radio that I forget the name of.
On top of cars and stumbling out of bars, follow you through the dark.
Can't get enough. You're the mirror inside my pain, the tattoo inside my brain, and baby, now it's obvious. I'm MK Ultra for you. I do everything you tell me. I am MK Ultra for you.
Oh God, dude, we got Puck. What the fuck, man? What the fuck?
Hey, Poopsie, fresh off of Brooklyn, dude. He did the Brooklyn tour.
Yeah,
man, it's fucking good, man. It's not the same, man. It plays a fucking shithole, man. It's fucking grimy and dirty. Fucking...
Brooklyn is a complete shithole country full of trustafarian hipsters who go into Whole Foods, and if they have to, they'll eat out of the dumpster, but not really.
Whole Foods, aka a whole paycheck. Next is like it's whole paycheck. No, a lot of the Jackmans like Whole Foods, but
they actually shop there. Though, like they'll bitch about you. They'll bitch about how much it costs and like call it a whole paycheck.
Yeah, but they go there.
You'll run into X there. Like you hear about the siblings. We hear about our aunts and uncles randomly running into each other at Whole Foods.
At Whole Foods, yeah.
But like every time you see them, they bitch about Whole Foods.
Of course. What else you gonna bitch about in America? In fucking back nine of Empire.
Bartek's got lips.
Oh, he's giving us the Mick Jagger. Dude, how fucking good is it that Mick Jagger's hanging out at dumps and fucking national parks and dive bars, dude, during this Stones tour? I think he's lost his cookies since Charlie Watts passed, and he's trying to recapture what it's like in 1961 to be a nobody and go out there and just feel something. I don't know. That's my read on it. I could be wrong, but I think he gets the thrill out of like, he's like, I went to this bar. I did a show in Atlanta, then I went to a bar down the street. And all the people at the bar were all front row premium season ticket holders for the Rolling Stones. And then those little pieces of shit on my shoe recognized me.
Oh, this is how the paws drink. I'm here to see the paws.
He's like, give me a log of pills. What is that? Like a pound? How much does that cost? Like a pound? And he realizes it's like fucking 6 pounds.
8 pounds. And he probably had to hit up the guy taking his picture because none of those rich people carry money on them. None of them.
He's like, you got $5. That's Mick Jagger. He's worth $300 million. Hey, yeah, he just asked the guy who got laid off from JCPenney. You got $5 so I can buy me pie? Dude, I'd buy it. I would totally comp him with my last fucking $5, dude. Dude, I've actually done that for a lot of wealthy rich people. I've bought them beers.
Yeah.
Anyone else in the chat have experience buying people who are a bunch of rich motherfuckers beers? Probably. Or picking up the tab at dinner. Picking up like $150, $200 tab at dinner when clearly the person across from you was like a millionaire.
Good God.
I just want to go down to the Legion of the VFW. I want to know how the poor Sultanhafs live. They don't have any money. I'm going to pass a point here to my brother. That's really kind of what it is. Because those guys have been living in a bubble. The Rolling Stones hate each other so much, or at least Mick Jagger and Keith Richards hate each other so much. They live in different continents. It's not like, he lives in Mersey. He lives by Mersey. He lives in Merseyside, Liverpool, and I live in Manchester. That's what it used to be. They lived in different parts of England. Now they just completely live in different continents. I think they live in different dimensions. Forget about continents. You got one living in a blue pill, one living in a red pill. But the recent Rolling Stones hit "Living in a Ghost Town." If you guys haven't heard that, man, that's an awesome track. Charlie Watts is on drums on that one. Before he passed, he recorded on that. It's a cool track. I was lucky. I got to see the Rolling Stones perform live in 2005 at Fenway Park with Eric, with a couple of friends and with our dad. So That was cool. We sat not in the grandstand, but kind of near the grandstand. Remember where we sat for the Rolling Stones, Bigger Bang, 05?
Yeah, I mean, that's a cool show, man. Was that the only time we ever saw them?
Yeah. Now, if you want to see them, you got another secret nook. You have to know what the Metropolitan Police are going to bust the Royals for this week, you know? Dude, they're not pursuing Prince Andrew.
Yeah, I saw some talk about that. They're dropping everything. They're not going to take it any further.
Everything from Virginia Giuffre's suit. What does that tell us going ahead for Ghislaine's trial in a few weeks? Ghislaine's going to trial.
That tells us Clown World, dude.
Dude, they brought her brother on. He's like, Ghislaine is... He's like, you know what I'm talking about. You know that brother, the one brother they show?
Oh, he's the most inbred-looking fucking cunt you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, he looks like a fucking turtle. He looks like a corpse fucking turtle.
He's an inbred tortoise.
He's like, Ghislaine is charitable. Ghislaine is a patron of the arts. And we now assist the Ghislaine. And when our father died, she was the apple of his eye.
Oh.
Yeah, he fell off a yacht named after her.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that whole thing is so gross. That whole thing is gross, dude.
Yeah, the Lady Ghislaine. The lady Ghislaine. No, the fucking child sex pedophile ring operating Mossad asset fucking cunt asshole Ghislaine. That should all be in the court official documents.
Right, that should be on the AP headline.
Yeah, that should be what it says before her fucking name, you know?
Dude, did you catch any of Scott Horton versus Bill Kristol, the debate in New York that took place?
Dude.
You want to talk about Sith versus Jedi? The light versus the dark? Good versus evil? We don't have debates anymore in this country, as evidenced by the Trump-Biden debate from a year ago, which was, could you call it a debate or just grumpy old men? Which is really
pile of fucking vomit, dude, and Depends full of shit, basically, is what that was.
Not saying anything. Scott Horton, with his skater kids and his fucking Doc Pepe, laid out a case against arch-villain neocon nemesis William Kristol, a smackdown, the likes of which I haven't seen since Yoda fought fucking
Christopher Lee.
Yes, in episode 2.
What was Christopher Lee's character's name? Darth Sidious?
Count Dooku.
Count Duke, yeah, Duke, Count Poopy.
He's like, much you have to learn. Meanwhile, dude, Christopher Lee, who played Dooku, what was he talking about in the Stone documentary about the satanic ritual that he saw?
Yeah, he was talking about how dark Satanism is, and how real it is, and how you should be very careful about getting caught up in that shit.
He was in the British Hammer vampire films back in like the 50s, 60s, and 70s. So, dude, you have to know he had to have dabbled in some of that Anton LaVey shit.
Yeah, he was all about that Illuminati shit, you know?
He lived to be 93 because he drank baby blood back in the 60s?
He had a few newborns here and there, folks. You know, he dabbled a little bit.
He was the original non-GMO, soy, he was a keto baby blood smoothie. He pioneered keto. And what's the other thing that you hear about with diets? Oh, that has so-and-so in it. I can't have it.
Gluten.
He was the original gluten-free baby drinker. His baby smoothies were gluten-free, folks. Oh, you heard it here on InfoWars. His baby smoothies were literally gluten-free. That's all I got to say.
Good God. Yeah, he had gluten-free baby smoothie kombucha. Oh. You know, Hillary's recipe from Epstein's Island from the blender, you know?
Oh, dude, Hillary tried to go on The View and do some kind of victory lap with Joy Behar with her reptilian tongue so far up her asshole. Like, you have everybody here is vaccinated. You have an audience. You have an audience, and they're all vaccinated.
Oh,
Joy Behar is just there, dude. Like she's Darth Sidious, and Crooked's there trying to talk about, the king. Meanwhile, about his hair. Meanwhile, dude, he fucking beat her, by the way, in 2016. You know?
And where did he go?
Went
a little bit Genghis Khan.
Yeah, he went a little bit Genghis Khan when he had to do it. And he went a little bit full retard in 20. But But she actually came out and agreed with Jon Stewart and said he's the nominee in 24. I think Crooked's right about that. What do you think, Eric, 24 going ahead for the King?
Yeah, no, it's his. I mean, you got Nikki Haley, who's like heralded as this amazing fucking, standard bearer. She could be a great candidate. She sucks. Nikki Haley, she sucks. But she's even saying that she would not run if Trump was definitely going to run. If he does it, she's going to just step aside and let him run. DeSantis hasn't really made a statement like that. So,
well, I think that's kind of the consensus. The consensus is that the King he's either going to do this thing or he's going to push it, and he's going to make it so like other people, second in line. And Crooked was saying this too, and I think Crooked's right about this. Like it's either the King dude or who he anoints for 24.
He should pretend it's going to be DeSantis, and then at the last minute wheel in Don Jr.
Oh, clutch shot of the fucking mouth of victory, dude.
How good would that be, Mike?
That'd be incredible.
Like Don Jr. runs with like Tom Cotton or something really ghoulish.
Or Josh Hawley.
Or Hawley, yeah, one of those. One of the insurrectionists. Those guys in the Senate are insurrectionists from January 6th. When you hear fucking people say that shit, Mike, an insurrection, dude. If it was an insurrection, they would have had bombs and guns and shit in Molotov cocktails.
The same people who run their suck about the insurrection and the insurrectionists, they've never heard anything about the Patriot Act from those people. You've never heard about Abu Ghraib. You've never heard about the Patriot Act. You've never heard about extradition. You've never heard about rendition, any of that.
Right.
You've never heard a word of any of that during the Bush or the Obama era. So I don't know. Dude, how about Korn and Stained?
Oh man.
This is the first live concert that we've been to since Clown World began.
Yeah, since the beginning of the Flu World Order. We went and saw fucking Stained with Aaron Lewis. Dude, he's super based.
Yeah, dude, his guitar had American flag decal.
What did his shirt say, Mike?
His shirt said defend the police.
Defend the police. And you saw no less than like 50 MAGA hats, right?
I don't know if I saw that many. I confirmed.
I counted quite a few. I saw a lot of MAGA. Yeah, I saw a lot of MAGA hats.
You saw more than I did. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't looking for them, but
maybe I wanted to see them.
They had a "Let's Go Brendan" chant. He got a "Let's Go Brendan." He got that chant going, and I feel like I've heard that on the tour. There's been a lot of "Let's Go Brendan" chants.
It's amazing, dude. But Korn was awesome. I mean, I'm not usually a big fan of either band. Like I wouldn't normally be like, those are my favorite bands, but we had the opportunity to go and get VIP tickets, and our parking was mondo.
The thing for me now, we just hit 35 this week. Honestly, I'll be honest with the audience. The thing for me is the parking and the seats. That's it. I've been going to concerts since I was like 13. I'm 35 now. I gotta have good seats. I gotta have good parking.
Access to a bathroom too, very close by for drinking.
That's like kind of, I guess they call it bougie. It's called bougie. Call it whatever you will, dude. I did 8 years of sales and customer service in the fucking trenches. I worked in retail. I fucking dealt with the public. If I'm going to go to a concert once or twice a year, they should be good fucking seats, man. That's how I feel about it. That's honestly just how I feel, No, it was a good show. And we had a lot of fun. It was very nostalgic, because Stained had a lot of hits back when we were in middle school, and so did Korn. Certainly Got the Life, Freak on a Leash, Adidas, Twist, and then Stained had It's Been a While, Outside. Seeing Aaron Lewis sing Outside was pretty cool. That was cool, man. That's like his. If I had to say a signature song, that's probably his signature song. So that was cool. And it used to be called Meadowbrook Farms. I think it's called New Hampshire Bank and Pavilion now. It holds like 9,000 people. It was really cool to get back and see some live music. and to hear some live music and see a crowd interact with the band. And next month, actually, here's an announcement here. Here's something for anybody who's in New England, New Hampshire,
InfoWars exclusive,
Massachusetts. This is an InfoWars exclusive. My band, who has not played an inside show since February of 2020, just because of everything that's been going on, we are playing the night before Thanksgiving, the busiest bar night of the year, at the Jaffrey Legion, which is, in my opinion, a mecca for freedom of speech, freedom of expression, support of our veterans. We are playing there Wednesday, November 24th from 7 to 10 p.m. Northern Stone, no cover charge. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of great music. I'll be behind the kit. I'll be drinking some beers, and I'm looking forward to it. So, they're like, if you don't do this, I can't go back to normal. Well, this whole thing about I can't go back to normal, if you listen to retarded people, you're never going to go back to normal. So you got to do what you're doing in your own life and do that normally.
Yeah, because I've just been getting up normally every day during the whole flu world order myself.
Yeah, and working, and
Yeah. Sherwood, aloha, making Maui laugh. Thanks. Thank you, Cher. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in.
In Maui, Hawaii?
Hawaii.
Thank you.
We got our people in Hawaii.
And Eric, if people want to support the podcast on your Venmo, how can they do that?
Yeah, I put the information.
You put it in the chat?
Well, no, I put it in the description of the video, but I can put it in the chat. And I'll dump all that in there right now. But yeah, if you want to become a patron to support our channel, patreon.com/Jackman Radio. And my Venmo account is Senator Jackman 86. And let me drop that in there right now.
Yeah, if you like what we do, like what we say, support what we're doing. That's the best way to keep it going. Folks, from listeners and viewers.
Yeah, and we want to do more cool things. We want to do live interviews, skits, you name it, man. It costs money to do this shit. Pretty much, Mike, you and I, we're out of pocket.
Yeah, it's been out of pocket the entire time. Yeah. We like doing it, though, man. I get a lot. We enjoy doing it. There's a lot of joy. A lot of fun.
So that's all the info right there. Become a patron today, patreon.com/Jackman Radio. And then our Twitter is at Jackman Radio. Instagram is Jackman Radio. And my personal one is at Senator Jackman. And then our Venmo. Yeah, that kind of looks a little jumbled, but we can fix that. But the Venmo is Senator Jackman 86. So if you like what we got going on here and support this and want to see us keep it going and keep growing it, and we have. I got the YouTube report today. We got all new subscribers from last month, thousands of hours of more listens. So it's across the board. It's growing, So that's the Venmo right there, Senator Jackman 86.
Excellent.
I'm on the outside.
Yeah, Aaron Lewis. There was anger, but there was. It was like right. He was tapped into something, dude.
It was righteous indignation.
The trailer for The Punisher from 2004, dude.
Men Like God says, my local music venue demands vax proof or negative PCR tests within the past 3 days. Insanity. Poopsie says, finally made it safely to the pot. Dumping out. You junkie bitch. Fucking junkie bitch.
Dude, Spiral was so bad.
Oh, God.
I haven't said this publicly, but I'm one of the biggest Saw fans
you'll
ever find. I love the Saw series. I've defended, the Saw series, even the ones people hate, Saw 5. I think Saw 6 is one of the best of the original series. Certainly Saw 3D had its faults, was not that great, but still had a lot going for it. Spiral was dog shit.
It was so bad, dude.
It was so bad.
You and Ferg hyped the shit out of it, too.
Well, we did. Dude, do you remember in 2004, October? Let me paint a picture for the audience. It's 2004, October, 18 years old, going to the movie theaters. Before social media ran the algorithms in your brain, before everything was fucking cocked in public, and you saw the original Saw in movie theaters. there had not been a horror movie like that, arguably since Scream, which came out in '96, 8 years earlier. So that's kind of like what we're working with, and it kicked off what they call the torture porn genre, which Hostel, whatever. I've seen, but the original Saw had moments in it that had never been done in horror films on that budget. So they say that comedians make great dramatic actors, and they do well with horror, and they do in some cases, as exemplified by the Halloween reboot from 2018, which was produced by Danny McBride, known for Eastbound. Yeah, so he did that, and
I know you did, baby Billy.
I know, yeah, Righteous Gemstone. So he's a brilliant comedian, and he also wrote the new one that's coming out this Friday, and which I'm very excited about. But it doesn't always work. Chris Rock doing Saw fucking sucked. It sucked so bad, dude. I can't even put into words. Although, and then conversely, the new Candyman I thought was awesome.
Yeah. And I had high hopes for Chris Rock. I'm like, well,
I give the benefit of the doubt.
Maybe he can pull it off, Mike.
Absolutely. No.
But it might not. It's not totally his fault because the story just sucked. Right? And Chris Rock didn't write it, right?
No, it was based on a concept that he pitched to the producers. It rests at Chris Rock. It does rest at Chris Rock. But what Nia DaCosta did with Candyman, I thought was great. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was an awesome continuation and honored the original and brought it to modern, new heights. So some things work, and some don't. What can you do?
Right. Yeah. Saw was a disappointment, and we'll see if they bring it back and bring it in a new direction, or I don't know, reboot, retool, whatever they do, But we'll see. But yeah, Candyman was great, and I'm not really the big horror twin. Mike's the horror guy, and Ricky, who we do our podcast with when we're in studio, he's our producer, our engineer, and our third mic. He loves horror movies. A lot of my friends do. My sister loves horror movies, so Mike and Laura are really big on horror movies. They're not really my favorite, but if they're hyping something and they just keep hyping it and they're sending the trailer and they're like, dude, you're going to like this. This is good. This is funny. Well, not funny. Well, maybe there's something funny about it, but like if they think it's going to be a good movie, so they'll get it hyped to me and I'll be thinking about it. And then I'll probably out of 10 like horror movies that they're going to be watching, maybe I'll watch a few of them, 3 or 4 of them. And Candyman was one that Mike actually convinced me to go to the movie theaters to see with Ricky. And our new movie theater spot is in Tingsboro. It's on the New Hampshire-Massachusetts line. It's just past Nashua off of Route 3, Daniel Webster Highway. It's up that way. And that's our new movie theater now going forward here in the post-current Flu World Order world. And we went and saw Candyman, and I enjoyed it. I actually really enjoyed it. The acting was incredible. It was entertaining. It was scary. It kept me on the edge of my seat, and it incorporated elements of the original Candyman, the first couple Candymans, with kind of a new concept. And like there was some current events, a little bit of woke shit in there, which is understandable. We kind of figured that would be there, but overall, it didn't like overdo it. And I enjoyed it, Mike. I like where they took it.
I like their commentary on the art world, how fickle and how superficial those people in the art world are.
How retarded the art world is, yeah.
And to me, that was a commentary on the woke shit. It's convenient, so now I'm going to talk about it.
Right. Sherwood says, "Great shirt, Eric." Thank you. This is my live streaming shirt, Mike.
Oh, it's a Mavericks kind of southern. It's your tribute to our time in Texas.
Tribute to our time in Texas. It's kind of ripping off Raul Malo, the lead singer of the Mavericks. Boy, my hair is a disaster. It's really my hair.
Remember when who was it? Jimmy Fallon was like.
Jimmy Fallon.
So they might have him on to play with his hair,
Yeah, and that guy was only months away from controlling the nuclear triad. But Raul Malo from the Mavericks, Chris Isaac, obviously I love, and Roy Orbison. It's kind of a mix of them, Mike, and then like Highwayman Johnny Cash.
Yeah, Urbison was horrified, dude, when David Lynch wanted to use In Dreams for the movie Blue Velvet. But then
Really?
David Lynch met with him and showed him kind of what he wanted to do with it, and Orbison was like, "Okay, you can use it."
Interesting. And like God says, I partied with Danny McBride when he was in Statesville filming Eastbound and Down. He's a great guy. No pictures to prove it because I'm a douche.
No, because you're not a douche.
I would argue you're not a douche.
That
right,
goes
exactly.
both ways. Yeah, it goes both ways because it's like oh, pics or it didn't happen. Because there's some moments. Eric and I have had some great moments where there were photos, but we've had great moments where there weren't photos. So I totally know what you're saying. So I'm giving men like gods the benefit of the doubt. I love you, men like gods.
Shannon Lee says the Mavericks are great. Shannon, thank you so much. It's so nice to hear that someone else who's A, heard of the Mavericks, and then B, appreciates their music. And they are seriously under the radar band. I mean, Raul Malo is a fucking mega talent.
Their music was featured in Dusk Till Dawn as well, which Tarantino wrote. But I'm sorry,
that shows you that Tarantino and Savini, they know what's up.
Oh yeah.
But the Mavericks are awesome, man. They just, I don't know. They have yes, they are good stuff, Mr. Boston. Shannon says yes.
And Malo performed in Massachusetts and Northampton a lot. Not just the Mavericks, but solo stuff. Raul Malo plays there a lot. And what was the thing? What's the studio project he did, Eric, that you've been talking about? I think he did it during lockdown. He did some project with it.
To all the girls I loved before. He did a duet with this big boy country guy, and it was awesome. It was just really good.
They got that Cubano, Miami, Texas kind of Tex-Mex kind of. They got that vibe going on. It's not country. It's not just Western. Yeah, Miami. Exactly.
Yeah, they're from Miami. Yeah, Malo is awesome. Down to earth. Yeah, he seems like a down to earth guy. He actually just went. I follow him religiously on Instagram, and he just went and mixed it up with some protesters. Who were some women were like protest. I'm just going to leave politics out of this, but some women were protesting like right to choose and against abortion policies, and then some, far right Christian dudes, men showed up to like scream at them, and Raul Malo was like, "Hey, back off from the ladies. No matter what they're protesting, get out of their face. Don't be in their face. They're here to protest and say what they're going to say. Let them have their moment and say what they're going to say. Don't get in their face." And that was pretty interesting.
Freedom of speech for all.
Yeah. Shannon says, "I'm blown away that a Canadian vibes with the Mavericks."
Totally, we do. Totally.
Yeah.
Well, we're not from Canada, but our father and his brothers are all from Canada.
Canadians are so kind. They are kind people, Mike, aren't they?
I'll tell you, Canadians are some of the kindest people I've ever met. And we're talking about the first time we've ever met these Canadians, and you're staying at their house. They're buying you beers. They're buying you a meal. They're talking to you. I would say one of the greatest compliments I've ever been given on the phone or meeting somebody is that they think that I'm from Canada or I have a Canadian accent. I've heard that numerous times, believe it or not. And my father was from Canada. He's born in St. John's, Newfoundland, and his accent was not as pronounced, but certainly his parents, my grandparents, had a very, what you would call thick Canadian accent. And I have family to this day in Newfoundland, and family in Toronto, family in Montreal, family basically all around Canada. And we did a big family reunion a decade ago. Just over a decade ago in the summer of 2011, and they are literally some of the nicest people that I've ever met. And so anybody who says that about Canadians, about the stereotype that they're friendly and they're nice and they're almost too nice, I think there's a lot of truth to that, just from what I've experienced. And we try to bring a little bit of that to what we do from our Canadian heritage, because my grandmother and my grandfather were both from Newfoundland, and on 9/11, there were a lot of people who had to who were docked and stranded in Newfoundland, and several of my relatives took those people in, no questions asked, including my uncle Derm. May he rest in peace. Here's to Derm Jackman and his family, taking people in, feeding them for days, really, giving them blankets and pillows and bedding, and making sure they were looked after, given a warm meal and a place to stay during that time. So that's I guess you could say that's a good Canadian stereotype. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I'm just seeing this. The Mavericks will be doing 2 days in Portsmouth later in the month. I got to get down on that.
There's none of that fucking flu world order bullshit. I'll be there.
I know, right? That was what was nice about Guildford. None of that bullshit.
Yeah, none of that was there. None of that was there. Yeah.
Infowars.com.
We got a couple more super chats there.
Love of community, love of honor, love of family. Oh, yes. Unsung heroes.
There was a great episode Tony Bourdain did.
Mm.
Anthony Bourdain did an amazing episode up in Newfoundland, and he captured a lot of it. He captured a lot of it for sure.
Yeah, I remember enjoying that. That was interesting.
At the beginning of the episode, he's hanging out with these guys who are newfies, and they're just in a garage. They're in the garage cooking up and grilling up and having drinks, and Dad liked to hang out in the garage. That was like his deal. So I think that's a very newfie thing, man, because it's closest to the hockey rink in the yard. You know? I don't know.
Right. You got IB Denmark. Hey from Denmark. That's awesome. Denmark, we love you.
IB Denmark, how you doing? Good to see you again.
Inbound Denmark. You know.
How about Eric Clapton with Abbott?
Eric Clapton's a fucking bass lord. He's what is he? 75, 76. He wrote Layla. He wrote Bell Bottom Blues. He wrote Wonderful Tonight. He wrote My Father's Eyes. He wrote Change the World.
He's on While My Guitar Gently Weeps, per George.
Yeah. And him and Van Morrison are fucking based.
It really can't be denied at this point, Eric, can it?
But Rolling Stone just wrote a whole hit piece against Eric Clapton, and it really irked his daughter Ruth, who I follow on Instagram, who I actually, I don't know her, of course, I've never met her, but I think she's sweet. I think she's awesome. She's a talented musician in her own right.
And you've corresponded with her, right?
Yeah, she does AMAs, and I'll send her questions, and she'll answer them, which is cool. But she took to Twitter to defend her father's honor, and that is no easy task. First of all, your father's Eric Clapton, and then second, like publicly, he's getting slagged here in Rolling Stone because he's telling his story about his experiences with it. We won't say what it is. We know
with the boop boop.
Yeah, with the poop poop, and she has to deal. It's just the most vile, wretched, disgusting comments you could ever imagine. People talking about her brother who died, with the window and stuff, and it's like, that's sick, man. You really don't have a life that you have to take to Twitter and do that, and mention Eric Clapton's poor son who died like that. And so she said, I'm unfollowing Rolling Stone because of this hit piece, and she stuck up for her father, dude. So props to Ruth Clapton for doing that.
Good for you. Props to you. Good for you.
And This Has Got to Stop by Eric Clapton is a great song. It's a great song, and it's a great message. There's a great message behind it, and it does have to stop. All the bullshit.
It stops when enough people say enough's enough.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Eric Clapton is awesome. I think what he's doing is so. There's a group in Britain who are a group of musicians who are opposed to everything and all the tomfoolery that's going on. And I think their touring van was either stolen or it was out of commission. Something happened to it. And they did like a fundraiser to get a new one, get it going again. And he looked at, and someone donated £1,000, and the name was Eric Clapton. And he was like, dude, no way. This is not really slow hand. And then he emailed the email that corresponded to the donor. And the donor said, no, this is really Eric Clapton. Like, here's my number. And like they exchanged text and then eventually phone calls. It was slow hand, Mike. It was really him, dude. How based?
Dude, are you fucking kidding me, dude?
How based?
That is so good, dude. Good for Clapton, man. You know, good for Clapton, man. Stick like everybody loves Eric Clapton, but they don't love him, dude. Ride with the King, man. My Father's Eyes. Like we didn't even talk about what's the festival? Crossroads.
Crossroads. Yeah.
It's not even that, dude. It's the fact that he has a platform and he's using his platform to say and do something. You know, and anybody. And I posted about John Lennon this weekend. Like, so John Lennon would have been 81 this weekend. And John Lennon was, in my opinion, the most base Beatle. And here's why.
You said that.
John Lennon returned the MBE, which was given to him and the other Beatles. It's like, oh, we're going to see the Queen. We're going to go see the Queen. We're going to fart. We're going to fucking smoke fags. We're going to have fags, which is what the British call cigarettes. He sent the MBE, member of British Empire, back to the Queen in 1969 to protest Britain's involvement with Biafra. Okay? He supported England getting the fuck out of Ireland, which impacts my ancestors too. I have British and Irish ancestors, so I've heard it all with respect to that. John Lennon was using his platform to talk about peace. And he's the Beatle that was gunned down outside of his apartment. So, I'm just saying. So I think that's an important thing to point out on his birthday and his anniversary. Not only that, I like John's music, and he's my favorite Beatle for other reasons. But I think those are the reasons why he's really my favorite Beatle. He was very outspoken. He had the Nixon administration after him. He had J. Edgar Hoover. He had the FBI tapping his fucking phones for his anti-war activities. They were aware that he was going to put together a counter protest to the conventions that were going on at that time. Dude, talk about shaking shit up.
Right. You're a Beatle, Mike, and you can literally command world press. And they didn't have Twitter back then, man. Lennon's putting shit out by press releases, and he's got Yoko running the art galleries with her pubic hair, you know?
Oh, he's in bed. He's in bed fucking talking about peace. We're selling peace away. They're selling soap. You know, I mean, Lennon knew the thing was like Tavistock. He knew the whole Beatles thing, the Epstein Beatles thing was kind of like he knew it was like a mind control experiment. Tavistock.
He knew it was an op.
Yeah, but he knew the royal family were a bunch of disgusting scoundrels too, by the way.
Right.
So that doesn't get talked about enough. So I like to talk about whenever I can talk about John Lennon in October or December of every year, with the fact that he's my favorite Beatle and a very huge musical influence on me.
Now, you think, Mike, Sean Lennon has said some things publicly that he fucking calls bullshit on what happened to his father, about who really killed him and what that was all about?
Yeah, I think it's a memory hold now, but if you go back and you look at what Sean was saying in the 90s about his father's death, he thinks Shatner was an intelligence asset and his father was taken out based on a plot. So, no, these are not my words. You can go back. If you can, I don't know where you can go now to dig deep for that, but it's out there. Absolutely. Sean is not stupid.
Right. And also, I want to give some props to Kyrie Irving, former Boston Celtic. I think he was on the Celtics.
He's based.
Yeah, he's. I think he's been totally suspended. Yeah, I need to pull up some info about Kyrie because I've only heard about this shit in passing. Let's see what Kyrie's doing. So he's only 29. He's 6'2". He was first round pick in 2011, and he's on the Nets. Let's see. What is Kyrie doing? Why is Kyrie Irving not allowed to play? He's ineligible to play Brooklyn Nets home games until he receives the boop boop.
He's basically he basically challenged the whole league, dude, and the league called him on his bluff.
And the amount of money, is it $32 million for the whole season?
I think he's losing out on like 15 or 16 million. And I know it's ridiculous that we're talking about this, but people follow sports stars. They listen to and they follow professional athletes. They follow actors. They follow these fucking people who we probably shouldn't follow but these are the ones they listen to. And if we can get a couple of them who are based, why not?
Right. No, so his salary for this year is telling me 33.33 million.
So cut that in half. I think he's losing half of that.
Right, but there's going to be other arenas where he can't play too, where they're cucked. So it's tens of millions of dollars, which is for him. He can take the
Look,
he can take the hit.
I'm not into sports, but sports are where a lot of people listen to sports.
Their consciousness and their attention is kind of narrowly directed at it.
So if you have a sports hub demigod saying something that's like truthful, I think that's a good thing. I think that's kind of where we're at now, unfortunately, sadly, and that's not just sports. I mean, that's actors, actresses, musicians, writers. A lot of people of note who are saying things that are outside of the mainstream. So I think that's good whenever anybody stands up for their sovereignty. Now in 2021 and what we're dealing with, that's not a very popular choice. It's not a very popular opinion to stand up for your sovereignty or your own opinion or how you actually feel about things deep down that goes against the narrative or the mainstream. Because right now, what the mainstream says is kind of like has become the new cult, the new religion. You have to follow this. You have to do what we say. You have to subscribe to our views. If you don't, you're X, Y, and Z. You get labeled all of these things, even though you're none of those things. And this is really basically corporate talking points. It's not even just corporate talking points. It's big pharma talking points. It's, world government talking points, UN talking points that are, coming down on everybody. And if you don't follow the script, you don't follow the byline, well, you're good and fucked.
It is, Mr. Boston says, I'm not into sports. I much prefer esoteric wisdom to share with all. But yeah, I think that goes back to Mike's point. Certain athletes can drive a narrative, Mike. They can dominate a news cycle. They can get some shit in front of people who wouldn't otherwise see it.
Well, who's doing the Super Bowl this year, the halftime show? Is it Hova? Is Hova fucking doing it? Dude, is it Hova?
Well, they're not going to. The season just started, so we don't know who that will be. It's always some Illuminati fucking asshole.
Yeah, that weekend, dude. The weekend Super Bowl thing, dude. If you are not of the mindset or knowledge that what they're doing, dude, is just mass mind control, watch the weekend.
I want to see Eric Clapton do the fucking Super Bowl.
Bell Bottom Blues, Bell Bottom Based.
Bell Bottom Based. The New World Order broke my heart.
So I'm very excited though for another musical release. Brian Wilson, At My Piano, is coming out next month, man. Beach Boys hits. They've already released the God Only Knows. This is just Brian Wilson at the piano playing God Only Knows. And in my opinion, as a humble musicologist for you all, Brian Wilson is a modern day Mozart. He's a modern day Beethoven. It's amazing he's still alive and he's still going and making music, but the music he has created in the last 60 years, even though some of it was through the filter of Laurel Canyon, it's amazing stuff. It still moves me. So I'm very excited for this album. What do you think?
Oh, I heard they released one of them, right? Wasn't it? Wouldn't it be nice?
God Only Knows. And yeah. What is it? Actually, let me see. I have the
they released one of them already, but it's going to be.
This is off of Decca Records. Genius, icon, trailblazer. Brian Wilson retraces his steps and reimagines the most iconic songs from his back catalog into their purest form. Him Alone at the Piano, featuring God Only Knows, Wouldn't It Be Nice, California Girls, Good Vibrations, and many more on the solo piano. So, dude, wow. you know that's going to be good.
Yeah, that's going to be really nice, man. That would be a night where I'd want to kind of chill, maybe uncork a bottle of wine, and then just have that and have it in the background and let Brian take you on a journey, Mike.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm bummed that we missed. He was doing the show about an hour and a half from us this weekend, but it was the night of our birthday party, so we couldn't go to it. But we have seen Brian Wilson perform God Only Knows in person. So if I die, we have that. That's it.
Yeah, it's amazing. Not only we hung out with him, hung out with Brian Wilson and the Beach Boys.
We met him. We introduced our old man to him, who grew up with the music. So that's it. I'm happy, but I'm glad that he's still going and still making music.
He's going to be 80 next year, Mike.
Him and Paul McCartney.
Yeah, Paul, who's saying that John initiated the breakup.
Yeah, they were trying to blame Yoko all these years. Now they're trying to blame John. I don't know about that. That's kind of.
I had to sue the other Beatles. He had to sue the other three, Mike.
That's true. There were lawsuits.
I mean, could you imagine having to navigate that and deal with that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Paul's cute though. He's our
grandmother. He's become our grandmother.
He's like a hard-boiled egg British nanny who still writes pretty good music. McCartney 3 is pretty good. McCartney 3 is good. Well, we're winding down here. I mean, do you got anything else you want to go over, or anything else that's on your mind control, your MK Ultra?
We had the meteor over the weekend on our birthday, October 10th. There was a sonic boom being felt by residents in southern New Hampshire. Turns out it was just a meteor that burned up in the atmosphere, which is also known as a bolide. So
that's what that was. It was a meteor.
Just a meteor called a bolide.
It didn't destroy anything. It didn't land during the Met Gala. Why didn't that fucking go into the Met Gala?
Yeah, why did that not? Was that AOC's dress?
God, I want to. Probably won't be this week, but maybe soon. I want to bring Robbie Martin on, Mike, soon.
There's several guests that I'm talking to about having on. We're not done with 9/11. You think we're done talking about 9/11? I will never be done talking about 9/11. Okay, I will never forget. When this. Hey Sully, you know what 9/11 when they said never forget.
Yeah,
I never forgot.
I lied.
I will never forget.
He drops him, dude.
No, I'll never forget. And we're going to keep doing 9/11 episodes until we can't do them because there is information. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of good information.
Until we're fully cocked,
Snapface. How you doing, Snapface?
Talk about Eric Clapton and Van Morrison's new anti-lockdown song. This has got to stop. Enough is enough. I can't take this BS any longer. It's gone far enough. You want to clear my soul? You'll have to come break down this door. This has got to stop. Dude, it's based, okay? It's based. The lyrics are awesome. It's a great song. Slowhand and Van the Man have so much money, Mike, they just don't give a fuck.
Well, all these fucking cucks that they're like, oh my God, mask up, get the jib jab. They play Van Morrison at their weddings. That's all I'm gonna say, dude. About that.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
It's all Pete Clown World. It's all Pete Clown World.
Pete Clown World. Well, if anyone else has any super chats or any questions they want to drop here into the chat, we're going to wrap it up here pretty shortly. It's been a fun hour. We've done an hour 13 now. Sometimes we'll go pretty past that, but you don't want to go too past that. But we appreciate everyone tuning in and listening, and these are fun, Mike.
You always want to leave the audience wanting more.
Yeah, exactly.
In October, everybody's entitled to one good scare. I don't know what's scarier than Fauci. That's actually the Halloween costume of the year. Forget about Squid Game. Forget about Michael Myers.
We didn't even talk Squid Game.
Forget about Ghostface. Forget about Freddy Krueger. You got Fauci grin.
Good God. Hi, Dr. Fauci. All the cucks.
There you go. That's your fucking Halloween costume. That fucking asshole.
Maybe you can get together for Christmas. I haven't made up my mind yet. I haven't decided. Meanwhile, dude, all base retards and just people don't give a fuck are at football games and sporting events with 60,000 people. Let me go to the sporting event with 60,000 people, but then say I got to see what the Delta's going to do, so I'm not sure. Yeah.
How about how fucking bad Many Saints in Newark was? That Sopranos prequel shit too. David Chase. I don't know how much HBO paid you That shit sucked.
Yeah, I didn't see it. It was did the son dishonor the father? Is that what happened?
It just sucked. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say, dude.
Can he act?
Oh! You're talking about Gandolfini?
Yeah.
No, Gandolfini.
Michael Gandolfini is his name, right?
He was good. The son was good, dude. As the father, but overall, the whole thing was so tired and so played out and so fucking. I saw this like 25 years ago with Casino, and before that with Goodfellas. Like, forget about it. So
the mob genre is tired.
That's all I got.
Well, I want to see when someone will start exploring the intelligence connections to the mafia. Right?
Let's have Robbie Martin on and talk about what he's uncovering.
Robbie Martin has uncovered some serious shit, and we'll get him on. But everyone, thanks for tuning in. This was awesome. This is Burn the News 3.
Love you guys.
Click that subscribe button. If you like what we're doing, follow us on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. Say hi. Shoot me a message. I respond to everybody. We're on Patreon, patreon.com/Jackman Radio. And Venmo, Senator Jackman 86. It's all in the link. If you like what we're doing, support us. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Put in the comments people you'd want to see us interview, stuff you'd like to see us talk about, what you're reading, what you're looking at right now. We're always interested to know that. So thanks for tuning in, and we will see you again for another live stream and another podcast. And everyone who's listening on Spotify and Podbean and iTunes and Apple, make sure you hit subscribe. We will see you next time on Jackman Radio.
Peace and
love.